Tonight, an intruder is killed on site at the RG Quarry in Cul-de-sac. Continued calls for caution as St. Lucia records its 18th case of COVID-19. And police arrest a crowd of people for hosting a river line amid a partial shutdown. We have the details of these stories and more coming up.
This is the Hot 7 Nightly News with Lovelace and Amy Joseph.
Good night. It is Monday, the 4th of May, 2020. Welcome to the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. We're on Flow, channel 117. The broadcast is also being simulcast on Kiss FM and on our Caribbean Hot FM mobile app. I'm Lovely St. Amy Joseph. Thank you for joining us. The island's latest homicide case took place at the RG Quarry in Cul-de-sac after a security guard came into contact with an alleged intruder. The male was fatally shot by the guard during a physical altercation. Police Press Relations Officer Corporal Ann Joseph has the details.
About 2:50 a.m. on the 3rd of May 2020, officers attached to the Criminal Investigations Department in Castries responded to a report at a business in Cul-de-sac. On arrival, the officers met and spoke with a male security officer who indicated he had intervened during an apparent burglary. The officers were able to identify a second male. Both that male and the security officer had apparent injuries about their bodies. They were both escorted to the Owen King Hospital for treatment, where the second male was not. The security officer was pronounced dead by a medical practitioner. The security officer is reported to be in stable condition.
Police made a major drug bust on Sunday, which led to the arrest of 2 females for possession of cannabis. The police operation was conducted in Pralim Miku at about 8:45 p.m. Sunday. During the search of a Suzuki motorcar, police uncovered a total of 359 pounds of cannabis. The 2 female occupants of the car were taken into police custody and are expected to be charged. The 2 women are residents of Castries who were able to travel between the northern and southern zone due to possession of a NEMO vehicle pass. That fact is of concern to the police force. Ancillary police hauled a group of individuals to the community police station for violating COVID-19 social distancing protocols. The group of 45 were reportedly partaking in a gathering at a nearby river, otherwise known as a river line. That happened on Sunday, the 3rd of May. They were busted and escorted away. 2 videos have surfaced on social media showing armed plainclothes officers guiding the large but peaceful group toward the police station on foot. There were said to be children at the gathering, however, they were transported via police vehicle. The current state of emergency and COVID-19 protocols prohibit public gatherings of more than 10 people, as well as prohibiting beach and river gatherings. People are encouraged to practice social distancing where they are to maintain a distance of 6 feet from each other. In other news, the island has recorded its 18th case of COVID-19. The Ministry of Health announced that as of Sunday, the 3rd of May, St. Lucia recorded another case of COVID-19, bringing the national total of confirmed cases to 18. From its official press release, we have learned that the cases are being recorded along the island's east coast.
The latest case of COVID-19 is a bit of a puzzle that health authorities are trying to unravel. This is because the 51-year-old who has presented with the virus has no known travel history. The male sought care at one of the respiratory clinics with a dry cough, but none of the accompanying symptoms of COVID-19.
The individual is currently in care within our respiratory hospital and is responding well to care. The Ministry of Health's contact tracing team is undertaking the necessary follow-up for the identification and quarantine of contacts of this case. The emergence of cases on the East Coast continues to be of concern to the Ministry of Health as we continue to receive reports of entry through unofficial channels. We continue to strengthen our surveillance in these areas and anticipate the detection of more cases as community testing increases.
St. Lucia's success rate thus far of previously having 15 recovered COVID-19 cases led to a false sense of bravado by some citizens who are now openly flaunting the COVID-19 protocols that remain in place. The chief medical officer cautions against a lax attitude toward the spread of COVID-19 and indicates that health officials are expecting more cases.
The Ministry of Health notes that data trends for the region of the Americas, and more specifically the Caribbean, demonstrate continued increases in the number of cases of COVID-19. This should highlight prior statements which we have issued, cautioning that we should maintain our level of vigilance as we are still at risk for COVID-19.
The CMO underscores that COVID-19 poses a risk of transmission to every individual, irrespective of age, socioeconomic status, and gender. However, data from the epidemiology department indicates that the existing respiratory clinic services are largely being accessed by females.
It is an established trend that men tend to be delayed in their seeking of clinical care, sometimes until the condition has advanced significantly. Our males are important segments of society, especially in their roles of spouses, fathers, breadwinners, leaders, and protectors. And as such, when our men are protective of their health choices, it benefits a large cross-section of our society. We particularly encourage men who may be feeling symptomatic to also seek care early, as this can prevent possible complications and allows for achieving better health outcomes.
Dr. Belmar George urges members of the public to monitor their health and take note of feelings of being unwell, which include a dry cough, fever, sore throat, shortness of breath, body aches, as well as loss of smell or taste. All of these, alone or in combination, could be indications of COVID-19 infection. Care can be obtained at no cost at any one of the 5 respiratory clinics island-wide. And if further information is required on this service, the public can call 311.
On Sunday, the 3rd of May, vendors were welcomed into their new home as the first phase of the Castries Market redevelopment project was officially handed over to the Castries Constituency Council. The new site, featuring stationary stalls and protection from the elements, was definitely worth the wait, according to vendor Vera James, who was on hand to open the facility. Jacques Wooding reports.
The Castries Market redevelopment project has officially been handed over to the Castries Constituency Council. But how does this translate for vendors? Well, Vera James, commonly known as Shabin, a long-time produce vendor in the Castries Market, says it means a safe place to conduct her sales, free of dirty water and without fear of rain washing away her hard work.
It started out rough with rain and sun, but for so long I not remember everything. But you see, sometimes when you're so happy, you cannot even talk the way you have to talk. Right. But today, it's a very beautiful day for me. I am so happy because I rarely take sun outside and rain, hurricane, dirty water, flood in town. But today I am happy. I am in a better place. Thank you, Jesus.
She was grateful to be invited as a representative of the vendors and awarded the opportunity to open the facility. James thanked the government of St. Lucia and the CCC for undertaking such an important development.
My government put me in a better place. Thank you, Mr. Alan, Prime Minister Alan Shastley. I am so happy about him.
She says the new amenities made available to vendors will definitely make them more comfortable and lessen their daily load when traveling to and from the facility. She hopes to see such continued development which focuses on the grassroots issues of the people. Jacques Wooding, Hot 7 News.
Members of the public are weighing in on some of the debates surrounding the arrest of individuals at the Ancillary River for breaking COVID-19 protocol. Many on social media lamented what they feel is a double standard when it comes to enforcing the protocol. They pointed to the crowd that gathered for the opening of the Castries Market and said no action was taken even in the face of clear violations of social distancing protocols. Others say the comparison is between apples and oranges. Here's what Joe and Jane Public had to say.
If you can arrest the people at Ancillary, you're supposed to arrest the people in town too. Everybody is 6 feet from each other, and nobody wasn't 6 feet yesterday from each other. Now, what I want them to do is to keep the place clean, because in 3 months' time, you're not even able to pass in the market. All that dirty water, they're walking all over the place.
I believe social distancing should be done everywhere. But then across the border everywhere.
Well, everybody should practice it, young, old, even though it's very contagious. So they have to practice it. The other people don't want to stay at their home. They try staying at their home. They want to go out. But I don't condone going out and going by the river and having your children there, because the children could get it and they could die from it. Because I was watching a little girl, she had it and she have congested heart failure. But the doctors in America help her. So everybody should practice it. Young, old, everybody.
What about the Prime Minister and if you have an event or something like that?
Yeah, the Prime Minister should practice it. But I was watching Trump the other day. Trump don't care. Trump hug people. He say he practices social distancing, but obviously when you watch the news, he does not practice it.
When I look at it, it's unfair, okay? The reason why I would say it's unfair, if the fellas in Ancillary had things in the river, I do not know what they had in the river, but they had things in the river. I understand the police go there and harass them, arrest some of them. And yesterday, I understand the Prime Minister had an opening ceremony at the Castries market. And they had a large gathering of people. And they did not arrest nobody. I find to myself the police not working properly. They're working on justice, okay? If they're serving justice for both of them. If they arrest the people in Surrey, they should arrest some of the people by the Prime Minister or ask the Prime Minister for social gathering, social distance. So I disagree with that.
Well, the Prime Minister should be the one to set the example. I mean, I think they had the opening of the Castries market. That shouldn't be. Yeah. Social distancing is for everybody, so.
What I really anticipating is that on the other side of what you just said about the Prime Minister, I find that it could bring some kind of more political activity, which of course it might be more constrained with Ancillary compared to in town, which of course, well, you have a majority of people that would be rebellion against the activities.
Every one of us should keep to whatever we are asked to do for the benefit of all of us. Because this is a very serious thing going on. You cannot just break the rule just one, then people can still get affected. So everyone should just, as they say, keep the proper protocol and stay away 6 feet apart in all circumstances. Okay?
Children on Slurry, I think they were more than 10 and they were too close. It was a crowd of children. They arrested the children, but they only cautioned them and freed them. I guess it was a good gesture to arrest them, caution them, and drop them. I was told by somebody, those kids were in the water. People have to drink bathing. You think that is right? I don't think it was right to bathe in the water. The very same people have to drink. So I think it was right to arrest them, but because probably they are children, they let them go.
You're watching the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. Still to come, timely intervention by Labour Minister Stephenson King staves off CCC layoffs. The Castries mayor says layoffs are still an option. The parties are in discussion. And phase 1 of the Castries market refurbishment is finally complete to the delight of Prime Minister Alan Shastney. That and more coming up after the break.